Hello, everybody! Live from the Xfinity Lounge, this is the PHLY Eagles postgame show presented by Bet365 and Ashley. Bo Wulf, Jamie Lynch, Super Bowl champion Vinny Curry here to discuss a dominating defensive performance for the Philadelphia Eagles in a 16-9 win over the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football for the second year in a row. It looks like the Eagles have come out of the bye with the best defense in football. We'll get to the offense and all of that stuff. We'll hear from EJ Smith live at the link. We'll check in with Fran Duffy, and we will hear from you, the sickos. But we start by going around the horn with the big takeaways. Vinny, you watched it. You enjoyed it. What do you have to say?
Man, the defense came alive.
Woo!
You know, they went to that bye week. They came out, and all you saw was such urgency all over the field. They got him off his. They got the quarterback off his spot. 2 sacks, an interception. I stopped counting other quarterback hits, and not just mention these guys are playing volleyball all night.
Unbelievable.
Patted pass here, patted pass there. Oh man,
3 for Jordan Davis, 2 for Jalen Carter.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable. Jamie Lynch, what do you have to say?
I've never seen anything like that from 2 defensive tackles. 5 swatted down passes. Jared Goff was an absolute hell tonight. I mean, there was a reason. At first, I was like, oh, he threw that one a little low. He threw that one a little low. And then it continued
very
for
early on.
4 quarters.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, they sped up his time, and then, like you guys saw, he started throwing ducks, throwing them to the ground. I was like, oh, yeah, he's done. He's done.
I mean, Vinny, you have been there at the link when the crowd is frothed with anger, and you can tell early on that the quarterback is affected. What does that do to you as a defensive lineman?
It just gives you more fuel because you actually know that he's trying to speed up his clock, and he's either going to speed up the clock or hold the ball just for a little extra second. And all you kept hearing is, Jared Goff is on his back again. He's on his back again, you know, with that kind of, you know, famous voice that they do on Sunday Night Football.
A lot of inaccurate passes as well that
crazy.
you could tell when he was affected by the rush.
Bro, in the first half, they didn't complete a 3rd or 4th down in the first half.
I believe 5 4th down stops in this game for the Eagles.
It was 5 of 9.
Which time?
It was at the end of the 3rd quarter. It was 5 of the 9 possessions by the Lions stopped in a turnover on downs.
Bro, sick. Uncle Vic was in the lab this bye week. He was cooking up.
I think you're right. I mean, listen, the Eagles now are 8-2 and have an inside track to the top seed in the NFC. They have beaten the Rams. They have beaten the Lions. They have beaten the Packers. We will talk about some of the problems with the offense, and this was obviously not a good offensive performance, their worst of the season by EPA per drive, but it was also the best performance of the season by defensive EPA per drive by this team. And if that defense is going to play like that against one of the best offenses in football, the offense is just not going to have to do that much.
Sign me up for it. I'm here for it.
They look awesome.
They did, but
it is. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I hate the fact that you have to rely on a defense to win you games.
It's not good enough on offense.
No.
That's fine. But I think we should at least start by celebrating this defense that the first half of the season looked just okay.
Yeah.
And over the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, has added Jaelan Phillips, who looks like a phenom now, is playing a ton of snaps and is affecting
with no bye week, by the way.
No bye week. That's exactly right. They've got Nolan Smith back now. You got BG mixing in as well. And you also have Nakobe Dean playing at an insanely high level, better than he has ever played before. You add all of those guys on top to the defense, and all of a sudden now with Vic Fangio, they look awesome.
Jamie and your guy. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, that was impressive tonight. I think we heard St. Brown name maybe once.
I think even Collinsworth said, like, this isn't a game you see Amon-Ra St. Brown shut down. Jalen Hurts lucky to survive that one.
I'm telling you, that was a secret matchup that was very impressive.
He's an absolute stud. He's a top 3 cornerback in this league. In year 2, he's got the capability of becoming the best cornerback in the league. Patrick Surtain, you're officially on notice. Quinyon's coming for you. But But yeah, I mean, the
the Lions had 12 possessions in this game. This was not just like a slow it down game. They had 12 possessions. They scored 9 points.
all 3 levels of the defense have difference makers on it. The defensive line, the linebacking core, and Quinyon and Cooper.
And they're all deep, with the possible exception of like that last corner spot.
Right, and the way Nakobe Dean played tonight.
He was step for step with Jahmyr Gibbs downfield. I mean, to come back from an injury and look as good as Nakobe Dean has is incredible.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's check in on the Super Chats because I have a
gauge.
feeling that's gonna sort of transition us to the offensive side of the ball here. Let's see what you, the sickos, have to say in the Super Chats. And by the way, comment on the videos, like the videos, subscribe, all that stuff. We need your help algorithm-wise. Okay, Joe Sandoval. That defense is something else. D-line had tiny hands running for his life.
Fact. I mean, those are tiny hands.
You know what? I did. Daniz, the professor, brought this up over the weekend. Jared Goff, in his 10 years, had never played a game at the Link in front of fans until
crazy.
tonight. And you could tell he was not prepared for it.
Well, that's a shout out to the fans because my boy was rattled.
He was seeing ghosts out there.
No doubt about it. And the wind, I'm sure, was a major factor in this game because we'll get to Jalen Hurts' performance, which was not great.
Didn't affect Jake Elliott. Just saying.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Roger E. says, "What a weird team." Is this what Lurie Howie want, though? I don't know that it's the team that Jeffrey Lurie would love. I'm sure he would like to have some more offensive firepower displayed, given what he's paying for it. But it's what they have. And credit to Howie Roseman because there have been, from all of our vantage points, some holes on this team throughout the season and in the lead up to the start of the season, and he has addressed them all. And a 3rd-round pick for Jaelan Phillips looks like an absolute bargain right now.
Yeah, I think a Doug Farrar, S.I., how do you say his last name?
Farrar,
he was like, I'm shocked the NFL didn't make an amendment to the CBA to disallow this trade to the Eagles because that's how good they look.
I am so mad at that Tyler Steen penalty.
That was a heady play by him.
I mean, the guy knew exactly what he was doing, exactly what he was coached to do. The Lions defender has his hand across the line of scrimmage, so Tyler Steen goes out and touches it. That's a penalty on him. And for him to be penalized for that, very American for that to have happened. Absolutely infuriating. Punishing the wrong guy, the guy who was doing the right thing.
Man, that's like, but that's one of those things is like, come on now.
He knew what he was doing.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is
the refs did not.
Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah, and it's like, oh, we're supposed to trust these guys. They think they know what's going on. They have no idea what's going on in the middle of that pile. It's so hard to officiate. CG Ginger with the Super Chat says, was the wind that bad or was Jalen just missing? Ka Ice, Jaelan Phillips is the greatest pressure rusher in Eagle history. 2 games in, Vinny, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll take it to the extreme now.
Yeah, I mean, Reggie White exists.
Listen, BG still on that team.
BG still on that team.
I'm just saying, let's not take it to the extreme.
Yeah. Trent Cole. Jerome Brown.
Hugh Douglas.
Fletcher Cox. Little Vinny Curry.
Vinny Curry.
I just said. Josh Sweat.
Having a monster year.
There's some dudes, man.
Philip Hunt.
Chris Long.
I think we should name like 150 people and then say Jason Babbitt. Next up, Rohit with the Super Chat says, looking forward to next week's atrocious victory. Yes. Yeah, we said before the game, the easiest prediction you can make is the Eagles are going to win a game and everybody's going to be angry. I don't feel as angry about this game.
No, you just shut down one of the best offenses in the league.
Yeah, not at all.
The way that defense was playing.
There are some structural things about the offense, no doubt.
Sure.
But the conditions were such, and this was a good defense they were going up against. I think this was an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah, and listen, bro, that is a great football team that we just beat.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, the number 1 offense in the NFL.
They dominated them. Them. Michael Toma, At least we will break the streak and won't have to worry about our offensive coordinator being hired away next year.
I said that to somebody earlier.
That's pretty funny, though. Yo, yeah, that's pretty funny.
You won't have to worry
Joel
about
Bryant.
losing Patullo.
Kylan Granson out wide on 3rd and 5. Calcaterra lead blocker. Awful. Okay, now we're getting to some reasonable critiques. I think that's fair. Pat Phoenix. Eagles would benefit so much from just a game or two of Tanner McKee with the starting offense. We'd learn so much about what the problem really is. I think that's the fan base would benefit, maybe more than the Eagles would benefit, but I would be curious. Shaheed, an awesome defense and ball control offense in Philly sounds like tradition to me. I can watch 17-11 games every week to the Super Bowl.
I'm with him.
Now that is some reasoned analysis.
I'm defensive game.
I mean, there's no way the Lions could have had 20 possessions. They weren't going to score 17 points in this game.
Listen, I already know the adrenaline is running in that locker room, especially defensively. I ain't nobody getting no sleep tonight. I'll be like,
I mean, got the Celsius.
Yeah, I mean,
free advertisements.
Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. And Vinny, you said it earlier when we were watching it. You said Goff must have a low, flight
yeah,
path.
that had to be part of the game plan because they already knew what windows, what lanes he was taking. If you watched those batted passes, they was right at the line of scrimmage too. So,
take us through what that would mean from a game plan standpoint of, like, okay, we know that he has a low trajectory.
right.
Is it like, you've got the clock in your head, and then you get your hands up?
Is
Are
that
there
Wash?
specific-
Is it
Are there
Vic?
specific lanes that you're trying to get into?
I was from the looks of it, it looks like they just was timing up his release at the right time
Okay.
and getting their hands up at the line of scrimmage, and then those are some big dudes. You know what I mean? So it's just
Some big ass arms.
right. And when we were there, it would be some yelling if we was batting down balls like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Talking a
you
little
like yelling
smack?
at the quarterback?
Oh man, if you batting down balls, that means you ain't pass rushing.
Oh, okay. So you would be told because you should be getting to the quarterback, not okay.
That or just that's why I said it would look like it was planned.
Okay.
Because you could say, hand up.
Okay.
Is there a mental clock in your head?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because Goff's the quickest in the
Absolutely.
NFL.
Listen, man, Wash used to have all that stuff down packed on. He probably had. I'll guarantee you, he probably had to stop watching on the sideline.
Yeah.
If they get it out 1.2, get it out. All that goes. You gotta speed it up.
Roger E with the super chat says, at some point Vic shouldn't have to keep bailing out Nick. I mean, no
Teamwork.
doubt in the world that the person in Philadelphia with the highest approval rating is Vic Fangio.
I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know. I trust Vic more than I trust Jim Johnson. Like, Vic Fangio is entering a category of, like, the most trusted coordinator I can ever recall in Eagles history. Like, this is rare because if you go back and look at Jim Johnson's, like, great defense, great for they would let up points. In their playoff games under Jim Johnson, there was a lot of 20-plus, points allowed games. Vic Fangio and this defense right now has the ability to just, like, take people's souls. Like, he is entering rare air as far as coordinators in Philadelphia.
Unbelievable. A monster super chat from Matthew Latucci. Matty Latucci. Back in it. Thank
Fly
you very
from
much.
Las Vegas, Latucci.
Matty Latucci. Davis Covey. Nakobe Dean is crazy.
Yeah,
Codeine. I mean, I can't. He is playing at such a crazy level.
crazy.
It's
insane.
given the injury he had, how quickly he came back from it.
Dude,
It's
today
nuts.
that step by step, like you said earlier, it didn't even look like he had an injury.
Yes, and we should say, just in terms of like updating things, he played more than Jahad Campbell tonight. It was not just the every 2 series rotation we saw the last couple weeks. Nakobe Dean was on the field much more. We'll get to the snap counts in a little bit, but I would guess that it was closer to like 75%.
That's a
Nakobe Dean in
credit
this game.
to the Eagles training staff. They got that dude. He'd been ready to play, and he's been playing great, getting better each week.
And by the way, Lane Johnson leaves this game, does not return with an ankle injury, so Fred Johnson takes over at right tackle. And then at the end of the game, Cam Jurgens left in his first game back at center, and Brett Toth took over. What did you guys make
Yeah.
of Nick Sirianni's decision to go for the second tush push deep in their own territory, up 10 points with about 3 minutes left?
That was some of the dumbest bleep I've ever seen. Dude, you're at the 28-yard line. It's a 2-possession game. What are you doing? Just punt it away. This is 2 weeks in a row where a punt more or less ends the game. Instead, you're giving them an opportunity for free 3 points. And you want to get even dumber? Why the hell are you calling a timeout on 4th and 17? Let the Lions go for it. It's in their best interest to kick the field goal there. Why are you, unless some grouping needed to get on or off, why are you calling a timeout and stopping them from doing the dumb thing? Let them do the dumb thing. I feel like I was losing my mind there. Punt the ball, you're at the 28-yard line. Situation, there's context to this. It's not always just it's short, let's go. No, the game's on the line. You're at your 28-yard line in a 10-point game. Punt the freaking ball away. So that's how I felt about it. Any disagreements?
Bo?
I thought he probably should have punted, but usually 2 in a row, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
I understand why they went for it.
They were giving the tush push the best effort I've seen to date.
Yeah, I agree with that. They were ready. They were clearly ready for it.
I think the way the defense was playing,
I agree with
and
that.
then go do it twice.
Yes, punt it. Trust your defense to win you the game. They're already winning it.
But I think,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think, going for it the second time, usually on the second one, they get it. It was one of those gambles. Like, if we don't get it, the defense is playing so well.
You're putting a little too much on Uncle Vic's plate.
Now, this comes into play here because if you are of the opinion that they should not have gone for the tush push there and they should have punted the ball away and trusted the defense, I will bring you to the super chat from Peter Fish, who says this super chat is for Bo to chastise Darius Cooper for his false start on tush push.
That's a great super chat.
No. Darius Cooper knew exactly what he was doing. He was going galaxy brain. He was saying, we're not going to get this. I'm going to take over here, protect the quarterback, and make sure that we give the ball to the defense, which is our better unit right now.
Right.
It's a smart football player right there.
Can't teach that.
That is a heady player.
Yeah.
Musa says, Dable called plays for Jalen in college, ? I don't think we need that loser stink anywhere near this team. Salute to Jacko. Can you please explain why Fred is supposed to reach out and touch the encroaching defensive lineman? This goes beyond my football knowledge. So this was Tyler Steen, not Fred Johnson. And it is the same thing like when you see a defensive lineman jump and the left tackle goes, oogie, oogie, boogie, boogie, and tries to reach out and touch him. Because if it's not a penalty for the defensive lineman to be over the line of scrimmage until they're touched by the offensive lineman.
Correct.
Right? And so if the defensive lineman is lined up with his hand across the ball, touching his hand makes it a penalty on the defense.
Right.
And that's exactly what Tyler Steen was doing. It was a very smart play, and he was penalized for it. Unbelievable.
Real quick, I see a comment from Luke that's like with you, back to the punt thing. And this is where, all right, if you're trusting they're in field goal range. You're giving them free points. You can't trust the defense there to get you a stop because the Lions can then just kick it.
I think that's right. I think, to me, if the Eagles were up by 3 points, or if it was a one-score game, I think you go for it because you want to keep the possession. You want to not give them a chance. But when you're up 10 points with 3 minutes left and they need 2 scores, yeah, given the way they were playing, I think you probably do punt the ball away.
There's no trusting the defense there when they're in scoring range.
Well, I actually argue opposite that sometimes, where trusting the defense actually means you're willing to put them in a difficult situation. That's what real trust of the defense would be. If you think your defense stinks, then you think they need 80 yards to be able to keep them out of the end zone. But in a situation where it's already 2 scores and them like moving the ball down the field is going to take time off the clock too, yes, I think you punt the ball away.
2 weeks in a row with flat out boneheaded
Stressing my guy out here, man.
As handsome Rich Hoffman has said, this team is incapable of playing normal games.
Yeah, it's like that meme, why can't you just be normal? And the kid's screaming in the backseat.
Super chat's rolling in. We appreciate that. Polar Jam
Keep them coming.
says, feeling better about losing Nakobe in the offseason because someone is going to drop him a bag. Very happy for him. Maybe possible.
Yeah, hopefully it's us.
Michael Toma Play design is meh. Play calling is mid. What's the difference between meh and mid, you guys think?
Meh.
Yeah.
Mid is like truly
Yeah.
mid. And the offensive discipline is lacking. This offensive identity to not make mistakes prevents them to reach their standard. I think that last sentence is trenchant. I think that's exactly right. I think oftentimes they play to not make mistakes, and that is not really what you would want with a team that has A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts and a great offensive line.
Bo, thinking about one of the super chats, right? He said, how much of this was the win? How much was it Jalen? I think A.J. Brown will let us know.
I'm very curious to hear what A.J. Brown says about this game, because if this was, if this was about A.J. wants the ball more and he wants to be the engine for the offense, A.J. Brown had 11 targets tonight, 7 catches for 49 yards. Not the most explosive performance, not a lot of big plays, but he had 11 targets. Is that what he wants? I don't think so.
And them targets was like kind of like short routes.
Yeah, I mean, he had a long of 12.
Yeah. So Smitty had what, 1 catch?
Devontae Smith had 1 catch for 8 yards on 5 targets. And what bothered me about it tonight was that it really felt like a lot of it was, okay, we're going to give AJ the ball. We're gonna mollify him and give him, manufacture some easy touches. And it wasn't always in the flow of the offense. It wasn't like they were letting the offense come to them. It was predetermined. Okay, this is an AJ play. We got to get AJ the ball. Let's, And I like the creativity of, okay, we're going to run these RPOs that usually go to Dallas Goedert. AJ's going to play that role. Let's get him the ball. Went for 2 yards or whatever. It didn't turn out to be efficient, but I like the idea behind that. They gave him a quick screen at one point. Gets totally tackled. Lions defense is very good. But, Devontae's been awesome. I think Devontae's been better than A.J. Brown this year.
Yeah.
I don't want the rest of the offense to suffer because we're just trying to get A.J. Brown the ball.
I definitely, so that's what brings me to my next point. So what he was saying about the Dabo is out there, I definitely think there's going to be some type of either change or thing, because they got to figure this out. Too much firepower on offense. The way the defense is playing, dude, we have a chance, a great, great chance to go back to back. And it's like, it's right there, and we're scratching and we're scratching. We're feeling really good about our defense, but now we're trying to get these playmakers on offense the ball because they are very, very explosive. But we just got to make it all happen.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell had a top 5 offense in the NFL, and 2 weeks ago said, nah, this doesn't feel right. Something about this isn't right. Give me play calling duties back. So it's not like, and the Eagles have a much less successful offense this year. I'm not saying that Sirianni should take the calls back, but I don't know. It's off. I don't know if I necessarily want Nick calling the offense with the success they've had the last 2 years, but it feels bad. Like, to your point about forcing it tonight, I don't know. It just felt bad. It felt clunky. I guess you give credit to the Lions defense for showing up here in this game because they are a very good defense. I don't know. It just feels lost offensively.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is next week is the Dallas Cowboys. Bad defense. After that, it's the Chicago Bears.
Slump busters.
Interesting defense. They're playing well.
By the way,
but a defense that's nowhere near.
Chicago Bears very big fans of the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Yeah,
the first place.
You're
Chicago
welcome,
Bears.
CHGO, for your first place.
And speaking of that, this win tonight moves Nick Sirianni to 11-0 all time against the NFC North.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And maybe more importantly, Vinny, to your point about a strong chance at repeating, this took the Eagles. I don't have the exact numbers. I believe they were 35% chance to get the 1 seed prior to this game. I think now winning this game, they have an over 50% chance, according to the analytics, to go out and get the NFC's number 1 seed. Fantastic.
So they are tied atop the NFC with the Los Angeles Rams at 8-2. Of course, they beat the Rams earlier this season, so that's a head-to-head.
Thank you, Jordan Davis.
The Eagles are so they've got a 4.5 game lead or something like that in the NFC East. They're going to clinch very soon. Bears are 1 game behind them. And then you've got the Bucs at 6-4. They have the tiebreaker over them, and the Seahawks at 7-3. And I will continue to go through the schedule here because after after Cowboys and Bears. Then you go to LA to play the Chargers on Monday Night Football.
And they just got embarrassed.
And they just got railroaded by the Jaguars, but then different team at home potentially.
Jagging off.
And then you got Raiders. We're gonna have a nice Chip Kelly conversation with you.
Nice, I got him.
Vinny Curry. Commanders, who stink. Then you go to at Buffalo in a game that may not matter to either team, and then the Commanders again. So the road is paved pretty nicely for the Eagles right now.
Yeah, they're going to get the number 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying. I think we all feel comfortable once we clinch.
Yeah, but then
I mean, it put me at ease a little bit.
Yeah.
Teams have won Super Bowls on their defenses alone before. It's not unheard of. And I'd be okay with that. If we have another parade down Broad Street and the defense is the crown jewel, that's fine. But I'm going to bitch and moan and be frustrated along the way. And I know everybody here is kind of with me a little bit.
As Shahid says in a super chat, Nick Sirianni has a winning percentage similar to John Madden as the best in NFL history, and we spend every week calling him a bozo. Quintessential Eagles.
Yeah. The meme comes to life every single week.
That's pretty funny.
All right, let's settle in. Let's take a little break here. Hear from some sponsors. On the other side, we're going to be joined by Fran Duffy on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line. Find out what he thought of this performance. We've got more of your super chats. Let us know what you think about the game. We'll hear from EJ Smith in a little bit as well. We've got Vinny Curry's Beef of the Week and all that coming up next on the PHLY Eagles postgame show. Black Friday starts right now at Ashley. Door-busting deals, unbeatable prices. Style your home and save big today. Discover unbeatable deals on inspiring styles during Ashley's Black Friday event and take advantage of Black Friday special financing with 0% interest for 60 months only at Ashley. Offers valid through 11/30/25. Restrictions and exclusions may apply.
And you can join the 90 million people worldwide that know it's never ordinary at Bet365. Whether it's Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football, they always have something fun cooking up for you. On Sundays, it's the $365,000 jackpot. On Monday, same game parlays. They have the best early payout offers in sports. They stream the most events of anyone out there. And breaking news, you can get, as a new customer, $300 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up using the code PHLY365, deposit $10, and place a bet for $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. And whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older and physically located in PA. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Black Friday starts right now at Ashley. Door-busting deals, unbeatable prices. Style your home and save big today. Discover unbeatable deals on inspiring styles during Ashley's Black Friday event and take advantage of Black Friday special financing with 0% interest for 60 months only at Ashley. Offers valid 11/30/25. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. Back now on the PHLY Eagles postgame show. Before we get to Fran, I'll take a quick moment here to congratulate your boy, Noah Curry, taking it home.
Yeah, what a nice little championship, BTS championship, man. The boys did a good job, man. It was a packed out crowd, a little 8U football.
Nice.
Down at Rutgers. And it was cool, man. It was a very proud moment.
What was the stat line?
Man, his stat line, he had one touchdown pass in the air, two running touchdowns. But he probably threw for over like maybe 130.
Nice.
It was nice. I was really nervous, y'all. So
yeah, what is like going on inside your mind? How are you watching these games?
Dude, you can't control the outcome with your baby, so it's like shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
it's way worse than playing the game, right?
And then it comes to his son, it's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm all right, like that. Like that's how he get on. He get on me for being that.
So you can tell.
Like, yo, what are you doing?
Dad, you're being weird.
And I'm like, no, I got you. He's like, they go like that, and so I'm like, oh, all right, it's gonna be a good game. First play of the game was a 37-yard touchdown pass.
Really?
First play.
What was the play?
I want to say waggle to the right,
Okay.
and stopped his feet, and you know, because he's a dual threat guy. So the corner comes up, safety comes up,
okay,
got the receiver wide open.
And so when you're Noah, you win the state championship. Like, what do you're not going to Disney World. What do you do? How do you celebrate?
So he wins. They win the championship. We get to the parking lot, and he's like, "You take me to Sky Zone, urban Air." So it was my niece was having a party anyway. Yeah. So
my daughter's been asking to go to Urban Air for weeks.
Dude, it's sick. I ain't gonna lie. I was in there. I was like, damn.
Come advertise. No free advertising. Come advertise with us, Urban Air. Come on.
Unnamed trampoline park. All right. Let's head to the Xfinity Mobile call-in line now as we welcome in our X's and O's analyst, the best in the business, Fran Duffy. How the hell are you, Fran?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, it's just another ho-hum Eagles win.
Another ho-hum Eagles win, and their best defensive performance, I believe, of the past 2 seasons by defensive EPA per drive. 9 points against a very good Lions offense. And we're missing Sam Laporta, and Jared Goff is too scared to play outside and all that stuff. But what did you see that was so impressive to you about this defensive performance?
Yeah, I mean, just the swarming mentality, and this is something we saw from this group last week as well. But they're playing fast, they're playing violent. This is the way that this group looked in the second half of the season last year on that run to the Super Bowl, where it's just a total population to the football. The tackling was mostly good throughout the course of the game. Obviously, we saw Jahmyr Gibbs was able to break off a couple of long runs there. But I think when you're looking at the way that this defense wants to be able to play, I mean, with the boosted pass rush now the coverage has helped out a little bit. So now you're getting that symbiosis there. That two-way relationship has really been evident over these last 2 weeks. Being able to get after Jared Goff this week, Jordan Love last week. It's the rush is also happening in a lot of different ways. It's not just like you drop Jaelan Phillips in, and Phillips is just a terror. He's been good. But you're seeing Jalen Carter, you're seeing Jordan Davis, Ojimo, Nolan Smith had moments tonight. You're still getting the blitzes from the linebackers at the second level, which we'll get into. So a total group effort. I mean, the secondary was outstanding again. Some of the next gen numbers are already going out there in terms of what Quinyon Mitchell did again here in this one. So it is a total group effort on that side of the ball.
Fran's putting out stats that next gen stats are even retweeting. Fran, you got the numbers here. Jared Goff, 7 of 27 for 140 yards and an interception. 25.9% completion percentage was the second lowest in a game by any quarterback with such throws in the next-gen stats era. Wow.
Yeah, that's on throws beyond the line of scrimmage. So so much of his production in this game was behind the line of scrimmage, basically little dump offs to Jahmyr Gibbs. And so you take those throws out and just say, all right, you're trying to attack down the field. I mean, this defense balled out. They took those throws away. The pressure, the coverage, again, the mentality of this group, I thought was evident. I'm excited to watch this back on tape tomorrow.
The pass rush. We're going to get to the fourth down stops because it was so impressive in this game. But Vinny, as we were watching this game, you kept talking about how crazy Jaelan Phillips was playing.
Bro.
What was jumping out to you about the way that he was playing? And then I want to hear what Fran has to say about it.
Dude, he got in the offensive tackle head. He was killing him with the speed rush. He hit him with a one bull. Then I want to say that's
Sewell too.
Man,
most of them.
That's what I'm saying. The very next rush he had, he did a little jab out, came in so freaking fast, bro. And he could have depleted Goff, but
yes,
he's been playing amazing. What an amazing pickup.
He tempos his rushes really, really well, and that's what Vinny's talking about, like how quickly he'll throw that jab, and then he'll try and win with speed, and then he comes off the ball 2-3 steps, and it looks like it's going to be speed rush, and then bam, like it instantly transitions speed to power, and he just does that throughout the game.
And Fran, the offensive tackle was so messed up. So BG comes to the left side. He think BG he been facing speed all game. He think BG about to hit him with the speed. BG comes inside. We all scream, get ready to scream.
BG finally gets to go to the left side.
That would have been crazy. But that goes to show you what Jalen was doing to him the whole entire game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so deep, and especially with Jaelan Phillips playing as well as he is and playing as many snaps as he was. All right, let's get to the fourth down dominance because that was a big story of this game. 5 different fourth down stops for the Eagles. Let's start with the first one you want to break down here. One in which the run defense really stood out.
Yeah, this is per next gen stats. I mean, on those 5 failed fourth downs, the Lions dropped a win probability rate 32.7% on those 5 plays. It was the second most. It was the second most opportunities on fourth down without getting a conversion since like 1991. So you're talking something that just does not happen in today's league. So again, just kind of speaking to the mentality from this defense. Let's take a look at the first one we're going to take a look at. Let's look at since we're talking pass rush, let's go with the rush first. So that's good. Yeah, rush 1. We'll take a look at that clip first. And I think when you're looking at this, you're always talking about like Russian coverage. All right, what is the quarterback looking to do on any given play? He's looking for Amon-Ra St. Brown in the back of the end zone. Now, they bring St. Brown in motion. They love doing this down in the red zone with St. Brown. It was one of the things that I pointed out. I think we talked about this on Thursday. Was all right, they get into the red zone. They love to bring St. Brown close to the formation and now work him out back towards the sideline, work him across the field. So he initially is working towards the middle. He's trying to get Adoree Jackson to undercut this and kind of overplay. Oh, that's going to be some kind of route going away from me. But he throws on the brakes and breaks back towards the right pylon in the back of the end zone. So that's the route that St. Brown's going to run here. If we go to the next shot, we're going to take a look now at the rush. And this is just a clean win for Jaelan Phillips against a great offensive tackle in Penei Sewell. And you could see like Sewell, look at his base here. You are not going to block anybody when you are playing with that wide of a base. So if Phillips had gone bull rush here, like he might have embarrassed Penei Sewell here on this play, but he was able to win clean with this speed rush here. He's able to wipe the hands away and gain the corner. Let's go to the next shot here, and you can see you've got a double team on Jalen Carter. So Jalen's got 4 hands on him. Then you've got Jordan Davis, who is he's gonna get home on this one as well for a hit on Jared Goff. He's one-on-one with the left guard, Awashika. And then you also have Jalyx Hunt, who's working from the opposite side as well. If we go to the next shot, you're gonna see that all these guys are now just converging on the quarterback. You see Jaelan Phillips, he's about to lay a hit. Jordan Davis is bearing down. You've got Jalyx Hunt coming from the backside. It's basically you've got man-to-man coverage on the back end here. You've got pass-offs happening in the secondary. Didn't get a great angle of exactly what Adoree Jackson's technique was. I'm excited to see what he did in terms of just using the end line as his friend there against St. Brown. But Jared Goff ends up throwing this into the back of the end zone, and it falls incomplete. So again, you get the marriage of the rush and the coverage, a bunch of guys winning in different ways there, everybody doing their job. Look, Goff is a pocket passer. You know where he's going to be in the back of the pocket. And again, he's like at his best, it's 1, 2, 3, ball out. The ball's going to come out fast. So the fact that he said, all right, even if we don't get home, now you've got, it was 3 PBUs from Jordan Davis. You had 2 from Jalen Carter. You had a bunch of passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It's clearly a point of emphasis for that group this week.
All right, let's get to the next one, which was less about the pass rush and more about the run defense.
Yeah, so this is, again, another one of the fourth down failures from the Detroit offense. This one in the run game in the second quarter. So let's go to the clip. This one's called Run D. So we're going to take a look at the first one where basically
this is the BG
the
play.
Detroit Lions are running duo here. It's 4th and 1, and with duo, you're going to get a series of double teams to the point of attack, especially on the interior linemen, the defensive tackles. So you've got a double team here on Moro Ojomo, who's going to get credited here with the run stop on this play. Ojomo is the defensive tackle closest to us. But one thing that stood out, and this is interesting, I'd be interested to hear BG talk about this on this play. If we go to the next shot, you can already see BG is like immediately slanting inside, and he is like looping around Ojomo, and he ends up having a huge impact on this play, because this is a play when you're playing duo, very often it's going to be a quick hitting run downhill. Sometimes you're going to see it bounce. It's going to depend on the play, but on 4th and 1, that back's going to try and get downhill. He's trying to get vertical, make sure I get the first down. I'm not trying to dance here and trying to bounce this outside. You don't want to get too cute. So they're trying to get him downhill. Well, BG is going to cut him off at the pass here. If we go to the next shot, you're going to see that Ojomo, he does a great job of shedding the double team, and now he's one-on-one. That's St. Brown blocking him. So he's got a Pro Bowl wide receiver blocking Moro Ojomo, 320 plus pounds. He stands him up, and now he's going to try and converge on the running back as well. But now let's shift our focus back to BG. If we go to the next shot, BG, he's sitting right on top of that double team. I believe that's Jordan Davis in the middle of that there. So Jordan Davis holds the point extremely well. You got BG kind of offering support right there on top of it. And now that's going to allow Ojimo to stay clean. He's going to beat St. Brown, obviously. The running back is just getting the ball. So this all happens within the first like split second of the snap of the football. And now Ojimo is able to get clean. I think I got one more shot of just Ojimo finishing up. Yeah, so you got Ojimo meeting the running back before the line of scrimmage. But you just see the Eagles defensive front did a great job there of holding the point, and they're able to get the stop.
That one right there was a big momentum swing as well. That you felt that. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about we don't really feel anything coming off the screen. But tonight, you felt a lot coming off the screen. But that was the one play that sticks out the most that I was like, oh, yeah, the D baller.
That BG play looks to me, tell me if you agree, Vinny, as the kind of play where it's like, that's not really what he's coached to do, but it's a guy who's been in the league 16 years and he feels that. He knows exactly what it's going to happen. And he's like, this is what I'm going to do.
I'm trying to tell you. And then it was like, man, it was one of those nights we all wanted to see but you could tell that he's helping those guys out. He's giving those guys confidence. Adding Jaelan Phillips. It's like, man, these guys are just hitting on all cylinders tonight.
All right, let's get one more play on the defense, Fran, and then we'll find out what you think about the offensive performance. But we have all been blown away by Nakobe Dean, and really in every phase, as a pass defender, in run defense, and obviously making an impact as a pass rusher as well.
Yeah, I mean, that sack was an outstanding work there from Nakobe Dean, and we'll take a look at that one. This one is just Dean. So we're going to take a look at Dean number one, and this is just your typical four-man exchange pressure where, they're going to leave the running back in for protection. We talked about how Detroit's running backs have really struggled in pass pro over the course of this season, and a lot of it had been Jahmyr Gibbs. He had really struggled over these last few weeks. So the last two games, once Dan Campbell has taken over, really when they get into third down, when they get into second and long, if it's going to be a pass-first situation where, we think that they might be sending an extra pressure and we want to keep the running back into block, Montgomery has been the back. But Montgomery, he's still given up. He's given up 3 or 4 quarterback hits as well over the course of this season. So he has not been peerless as a protector. But he's going to be charged one-on-one with blocking Nakobe Dean if Nakobe Dean comes. But what that means is that you are going to get the protection sliding away from Nakobe Dean's side. They're saying, all right, we're gonna keep an extra man in to protect. So now you've got 4 versus 3 on the other side. We go to the next shot, you're going to see exactly what I mean here, where you're going to get a 4-man slide from the right guard, everybody over, you're all sliding to the left. So that's going to be to the 3-man side of the line of scrimmage. Jaelan Phillips, he is left one-on-one with Penei Sewell. So you got Pro Bowl versus Pro Bowl there on that side. You've got Nakobe Dean going up against the linebacker, and it's supposed to be 4-on-3. Jalyx Hunt drops out, so it's actually going to be 4-on-2. So you got 2 double teams there on the right side. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter both getting double team. But this is a blitz that's basically orchestrated to get Nakobe Dean either a free run or one-on-one with the running back. So this is a win for Vic Fangio, for the Eagles defense. Let's go to the next shot, and you'll see, there are the double teams. You got Jalyx Hunt dropping out, so it's not a blitz. It's not going to go down as a blitz, even though you've got Nakobe Dean coming on the pressure. It's still just a 4-man rush. You still have 7 guys back in coverage, but when you get a defender right in Jared Goff's face, we talked about it. This is a consistent theme all season long, and it's really shown up over the last couple of weeks. When Jared Goff is pressured, his efficiency numbers go in the tank. He has been so unproductive when pressured, and they hit on it late in the game in the broadcast where you just saw like when he is pressured, his numbers really bottom out. And so this is a great way to be able to get quick pressure on him. Nakobe Dean ends up blowing up Dave Montgomery. Go to the next shot here. And he just completely uncorks him. He gets him turned around, throws him into Jared Goff, and it goes down as a sack. These exchange pressures, with Nakobe Dean, Zack Baun, Jahad Campbell coming from depth as a stacked player. Sometimes they bring those guys up in the line of scrimmage. We did see a little bit of that here in this game as well. It didn't seem like it was as much as what we saw in Green Bay, but I'm interested to chart that as we get into the film tomorrow. But yeah, it's a really good way to use all 3 of these linebackers, because all 3 of them, it's a plus in their bag.
Okay, we've talked about the good. Now let's ask you about the offense. By EPA per drive, their worst performance of the season, 16 points. Jalen Hurts, 14 of 28 for 135 yards. No turnovers, though. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries for 83 yards. AJ, 7 catches for 49 yards. And after that, I mean, Jahan Dotson, 2 for 43. Goddard, 2 for 24. Devontae, 1 for 8. What were your big takeaways watching the offense tonight?
Yeah, clearly not Jalen's best game. There were some misses. There were some what seemed to be turned down throws where, like, I know the first third down of the game, there was like that sack where it ends up going down as a scramble for 1 yard. It looked like Devontae Smith was open over the ball on a deep curl route. There were a couple of those where it's like, oh, all right, like that's a play left on the field there. But I try and hold all judgment pass game wise, at least until I get back through the film, just to get a better sense of it. But certainly, I mean, look, you don't have to be, you don't have to be Vic Fangio to be able to watch this and say like, oh, like this was a bad passing performance. The quarterback probably didn't have his best game. Now, were there some drops in there? Absolutely. Especially early on in this game, you started off with a couple of drops, but I think when you're looking at it, was not Jalen's best game. It's just, I mean, look at this pass game has been volatile all season long. That's why the frustrations have mounted on that side of the football from a personnel standpoint. There's been more reporting on that this weekend, but I think when you're looking at Jalen Hurts, you're looking at AJ Brown. They clearly were like, all right, like let's try and foster something here. I do appreciate the creativity. Like I said that like very early this season, where some of the red zone stuff that they were doing for Dallas Goedert, it's like, yeah, like you can do some of that for AJ. Like there are some of these things you can do for him. I guess that it is a good sign that they're trying to kind of appease him in that way. Obviously, it didn't work in this one, but I think when you're looking at it, they're trying to get it right. I'm excited to hear what AJ has to say in the locker room.
Yes, I believe we will get to hear what EJ says about what AJ Brown said. He talked in the locker room after this game, so we'll find out about that. Hey, what did you guys think of the penalty at the end of the game? A lot of consternation, it seems like, from Lions fans about that pass interference on AJ.
Eagles got away with one. That was a garbage call.
Terrible call. Awful, but great.
I'll take it.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, it was a terrible call. There were a few bad calls tonight. You hit on the one on the top.
I thought it was it was clearly a bad call. I don't think it decided the game.
Call. Right. I mean, it was terrible. That would be leading the show if that was the other way around.
Yeah, potentially so. I don't know. Are you worried about the offense? Does the quality of the defense make you less worried now? I don't know. Where are you? First blush.
Right now, I'm in my house. Or I would say,
you're in the penthouse. We know you're up on the third floor film room.
No, look. This is. It's the things that I almost said exactly what like AJ Brown said this week, where it's like, yeah, like we've kind of it's been the Band-Aid conversation over the last few weeks, and look, they consistently say that they want to be able to run the football. This has not been a team, and they, like Collinsworth said it on the broadcast in the first half. He was like, "This team needs to get back to running the football," and it's like, this is what they do best. This is not what this team does best. This team has tried time and time again this year to run the football with authority on their terms, and be explosive and be efficient. They're not that guy right now. They are not that team right now in terms of being able to establish the run and consistently hold on to the football and maintain drives and keep things rolling. That's just not the strength of this offense right now. Does that mean completely abandon it? No. But when the quarterback's not playing great, like, I don't think that's on. You're playing with two hands tied behind your back if you're Kevin Patullo and this coaching staff as well. So I do understand what was going on tonight, but it's not great if the pass game's not clicking, if Jalen Hurts is not playing well. Yeah, the offense is going to look the way it looked tonight.
There's a super chat asking you about under center in this game and whether there was much less of it. The True Media tells us that it was 27% of the time, 27.5% of the time under center for the Eagles in this game, which is their fourth most of the 10 games so far. So not quite as much as the Packers game or the Vikings game, but still more than before. And
I mean, my guess too on that is that because you had a lot of disadvantageous like third down
Yeah.
distance situations where it's like, all right, like the 3rd and 8, you're not getting under center running play.
I'll tell you what, though.
Right? So
I'll tell you
had
what,
a bunch
though.
of that, and I think that
They were
that
throwing the
throws
ball
off
on
a
3rd
little
and
bit.
long tonight.
Yes, it was that was so that there were conversations. I would say it definitely feels like that there were conversations this week. But that's why you asked me during the pregame show. You're like, oh, like what are you excited to see on the offense? And I'm like, or what are you most excited to see, offense or defense? And I was like, I'm interested to see like what the offense looks like. What's the identity this week? Because it has been different and it has evolved over the course of the season.
Hey, Vinny, on the 4th down when the Eagles kept the defense on the field and the Lions went for that fake punt, right? Keeping the defense on the field, do you think that's Sirianni's call? Is that Michael Clay's call? How do you think that works?
Yeah, Sirianni, definitely Sirianni call.
Sirianni says keep the defense on the field.
Yep. All film study, because they knew that was coming.
You know that the Lions are a
Correct.
team that does a lot of
Correct.
fakes. Yep.
Correct, and they knew that was coming. They wasn't even phased. Afterwards, they all looked at the sideline, was like,
Right.
so they already knew it was coming. So that was actually great film study.
Or Vic, too. I don't know. What did you think about that play, Fran? That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you get near midfield against a coach like Dan Campbell and Dave Phipp, and their history and their willingness to be able to try new things. It did not shock me that they would have the punt safe unit out there. Punt safe being like, all right, the first team defense being out there with your returner, and so that did not shock me that they went that route, and obviously it was a great call.
It's kind of like the equivalent to the Lions being very good against the tush push in this game. It's like we prepared well for this nonsense that you do.
I'm looking at the tush push for it looked like some different bodies in there. I don't know. I didn't. It was some different. It looked weird tonight. It didn't look like the original tush push group. That's like trying to put somebody else in the Jackson 5 or something like that. Like it just don't look right. It didn't look like the original tush push group.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help when Darius Cooper is getting the
Dude,
false starts.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
But that was a tough spot to put a rookie in. His heart power was pounded. Like, y'all don't want to be the reason why that we don't be successful rated on the most famous play in football, and he jumps. But both says he
needs
jumped
the
on
ball.
purpose.
He needs the AJ Brown treatment.
I will say, like, without getting too far down a rabbit hole, all the conjectures, like, oh, like the play's definitely getting banned. They can't adjudicate it. They can't officiate it. It's like, you guys realize these false starts, like that has nothing to do with the push. That has nothing to literally, if you do QB sneak, all the same things apply. So yeah, it's
Also, they haven't been quite as good at it this year. But all right, last thing, how far into the game did Francis make it?
He made it to halftime.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah. I was able to bring him up at half. We are at the point now, though. Like, I don't know. Like next season, I'm not going to be like carrying him up the steps to get him up to. He's going to have to, make that trip on his own.
Fran, what were your thoughts on the punt or the decision not to punt at the end there?
Oh, I was very surprised by that. Just because what your defense has done. Look, like even if you say like, oh, we've got faith in our guys to be able to make that play, get those few inches, like, I think you got to weigh probability in that scenario. So like, all right, what's more likely? Like, what if you drop the snap? What if you just don't make it? Detroit has had success against the tush push. Like, punt the ball away, make them drive the ball on your defense that they haven't been able to do all night long.
And real quick, because we didn't get a good replay of it on the broadcast tonight, that one go ball to A.J. Brown on the sideline, I thought Rock Ya-Sin kind of jammed them up and impeded his route a little bit. Did you see, and look, blind eye, you haven't dove into it yet, there was a lot of chatter that he kind of gave up on the route. What did you see there?
That was the way that Collinsworth talked about it on the broadcast, but they didn't show us a great replay of it. So I guess we're just going to have to take his word for it until 8 hours from now when I'm going through the tape.
All right, Fran, we look forward to finding out what you learn from going through the tape on tomorrow's 2 o'clock PHLY Eagles show. Thank you so much for joining us on Fran's Film Room presented by Ashley. Get some sleep.
Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
All right, Fran.
And with that, we take a quick break to hear from some friends on the other side. We'll find out Vinny's beef of the week. We'll talk a little bit more about this game, hear from you in the Super Chats. And then in a little bit, we'll hear from EJ Smith live from the link. Everybody has their favorite hard tea, but have you ever turned to read what's inside? You can't because they don't tell you, and what they hide, it's scary. That's why Crooked Tea brags about what is inside Crooked Tea. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar, no fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. So the next time you're at the store, flip the can, and if you can't get the ingredients, just put it back. Then grab a Crooked Tea, zero sugar, real tea, and fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack of the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
The other day, I went over to my friend Dan Campbell's place. Texas A&M was playing. He was all excited to watch the game. His setup, though, was a total disaster. Lagging, buffering. He didn't even know what app to go to. He kept going for it on fourth down and not coming up with it. And that's why I said, Dan, you got to get Xfinity, man. You claim you're a big fan. It doesn't feel like it. If you consider yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games, your favorite teams, all in one place. It's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. You got all the action in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. So clear, it feels like you're in the stadium. Sometimes you can get 4 games going on the quad box, so why not? Because you can do it. And on top of that, you get real-time notifications and live stats right there on your TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. So next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K-capable TV box.
All right, we are back in the PHLY Eagles post-game show. Vinny Curry, Jamie Lynch, Bo Wulf. We're going to hear from EJ Smith live from the link in a little bit, but it's time now for our Righteous Felon Beef of the Week. Presented by Vinny Curry to the lineman of the game, offensive or defensive line. I think I know which side of the ball you're leaning in this game. Who are you going to give the shout out to this week?
I got a split, man.
Okay.
I got a split. I'm gonna go with Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis, 3 bat downs. Some dominant run defense in the middle.
And Jalen Carter, man. Like, I think those bat downs definitely impact the game. Man, those
led to a pick.
Man, those Georgia Bulldogs, all 3 of them.
You're not kidding. Plus Nakobe.
Man. Like, I know we say we joke around and kind of like, Eagle Dogs and all this, but I mean, woof. Them boys is balling.
No doubt about it. And it's not just the Georgia guys. I mean, the depth of that defensive tackle group now with Moro Ojimo playing as well as he is playing, that's as good of a threesome as the league has. I know you were laughing. You know what? I said threesome. I'm sorry.
There's no denying that one.
That's a lot of man in there.
Yeah, a lot of beef.
And that'll do it.
I don't recall a defensive tackle.
Listen, you're working hard in a threesome. You got to stay. You got to have food to keep you going. You got to have the protein. Righteous Felon comes in handy.
I mean, that might be the most dominant defensive tackle performance from a 1-2 punch in those 5 batted passes is insane.
And it's in terms of the impact on the game, you can't overstate it. One of them led directly to an interception.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Righteous Felon, beef of the week. It's like they get a beef stick and meet in the middle, Lady in the Tramp style.
Yeah, I bought some Righteous Felon at Costco the other day.
Congratulations.
The girls are hooked on it, so I saw the OG Hickory.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're big fans.
Shout out to Righteous Felon.
Yeah.
All right, checking out your super chats once again. Alex Garcia. Maybe now is not the time, but we need to have a serious conversation about what in this offense can change. Kevin Patullo seems like the rational first step. Yikes. 8-2.
I don't know what they change in season. I mean, I without knowing the calls and the plays and the reads and all that, I think maybe not a big piece, a sliver of the pie does belong to Jalen Hurts.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
He's playing good football while missing some stuff.
I am much more willing to forgive this specific performance than some of the other ones we saw, even last week's against Green Bay, just because of the conditions, because this was the better defense that they were going up against. You know, I thought Jalen struggled tonight, but this performance itself is not quite as much of a red flag to me.
The one that I think we all want back is the Saquon Barkley wheel route. That's not Kevin Petula's fault. That should be 6 points.
Well, you know what? I think Jalen checks to that play because that's the one he makes a big show of checking to something pre-snap. He has checked to Saquon passes downfield before. I think he identified it was man coverage. That's a good read. Let's get Saquon down the field. Just misses the throw on a windy night. You'd like to see him make that throw, but
that man, the windy. I'm only gonna go with that as well because he usually makes that throw. So we see him make that wheel route pass.
Yes.
And the one earlier in the game was right on the money to him on the sideline.
Correct.
It's just you kind of need that throw there. You made the right call. You did everything right. You just got to stick that one.
Vinny, I feel like the way the Lions came into this game, trying to prove they were the tougher team.
Got knocked around a little bit.
You got knocked around a little bit. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
At all. You know, they definitely got knocked around a little bit.
But Jameson Williams sure did hump that goalpost. That was fun.
It wasn't fun for the field goal kicker.
Poor post.
That was a terrible kick, too.
Oh,
poor guy.
God.
Yeah.
Courtney Lilly says, all-time defensive performance. Still, my kingdom for a 2-score win. You know?
There you go, Lily.
Maybe. L8908. Sure seemed like the offense tried a lot of stuff we've been calling for and still sucked. A lot of A.J. Brown.
But again, it did feel forced.
I felt a little bit forced. I don't know.
What was
Tank Bigsby's got the juice.
Wait, Saquon, you said Saquon had 20. It was 26 carries.
Yeah.
20, really?
26.
It did not feel like
dude,
that at all.
For 83 yards.
That you said that, I'm like, it didn't even feel like he had 26 carries. Like, come on now.
Not at all.
I didn't see no pulling. I didn't see no. I'm like Fran now. Now I gotta go back in.
Yeah, there was one nice run where they go jumbo, 6 offensive line, I think, jumbo stacked to the right, and then Saquon goes the other way to the left.
A lot of the runs that he was
and he
really
just gets
breaking
to the outside,
coming back.
But yeah, this was another one like we saw earlier in the season where there were 3 or 4 awesome Saquon Barkley runs for 1 yard.
Yeah. Yeah, he made one of the more incredible 1-yard runs on that one.
Phil Hedges, do you really think the offense will click in the next 2 months? This secondary was garbanzo beans, and nothing seemed to be going.
I think so.
I actually thought Rocky Sin played a really nice game.
Yeah, I thought so too. When the talent is that good, it can happen, right? You've kind of seen it on the defensive side of the ball. Now, you might argue that the difference is they have Vic Fangio, but this defense wasn't playing at nearly this high a level early in the season. They get some more talent. All of a sudden, it's happening. I don't know. It's possible. We kind of saw it a little bit last season in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, part of this season is you're playing a much harder strength of schedule. The Packers and the Lions, the 2 games we're bitching about.
Sure.
Those are very competent, good defenses. So sometimes you do have to give the opposition, their flowers a little bit and say, yeah, the Lions played good defense tonight.
Matthew Martin says, need a Fran and Daniz film breakdown on Grand Calcaterra. Might be ugly.
Ugh.
Matty Latouche back in the super chat says, shout out to my father, Richard, listening to you guys every day from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Richard.
Shout out to Dickie Latouche. Thank you. Roger E. The offense, less under center tonight. This is the one I referenced earlier. Intentionally ran Jalen more. Was nice to see Jalen pulling out the empty shotgun draws. 2 big first downs on those tonight.
Clutch.
Very helpful, including on the touchdown drive at the end of the first half, which was the most important drive of the game for the offense. David says, Over a span of 10 plays, Nakobe goes stride for stride with Jahmyr Gibbs and J-Mo, then smokes Montgomery to sack off. Genuine malpractice to take him off the field. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he's playing a ton more snaps. M4C20, has AJ lost a step or is he not trying?
I think there's a little bit of... Look, AJ was never like a huge separation guy. He was more of like a contested catch. I'm just going to out-physical you kind of receiver. But if I had to guess, I'd say he's slightly maybe lost a step a little bit. With no way to prove that. Just like my gut is, yeah, he seems a little...
I don't disagree with you.
Slower, I guess. Not as committed. I don't know how to phrase it.
It's hard to know how much... whatever is going on upstairs is affecting the way he plays on the field.
Right.
Vinny, I think maybe you can speak to this, that sometimes personal frustrations can affect your level of play on the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But as we seen tonight, 11 targets, they're trying to figure it out. You know, what was that? When he had only, one target on the go ball?
The one where he maybe slowed down.
Yeah. And you know, usually 9 times out of 10, he's like he said, out physical the DB. I think that go ball maybe was just a little bit too late in the game for him.
Yeah. Now, he did make a hell of a play on the one that was called back on the sideline on the scramble drill. That was a hell of a catch.
Yes, it was.
So, respect for that. Would have gone over 50.
But you know, until proven otherwise, I still think he's one of the best in the game.
I think that's fair.
You know, as a receiver, he sees something that maybe that we don't know or we don't see, but he's saying it in poetry with different ways.
There you go.
You know, so
shout out to Janky Rondo.
You know what I mean? So, like. You know, we got a couple weeks to get this down packed. You know, got Cowboys next week.
Yep.
Yes. So, you know, hopefully, you know, get back on track using that defense they got.
There we go. Not very good. Alexio Stevens. Clip of Jaelan Phillips yelling, "I'll double down on that statement" post-game when asked by a reporter, "is giving me so much life. Extend him now." I guess this is in reference to him saying...
Yeah, I sent it, I think, to Julia. Okay. He was on Sunday Night Football, and he basically...
was asked about...
He was asked, you know, do you still stand by that? And he said, "I'm doubling down," and a huge smile on his face.
You heard this thing that he said? Oh, yeah, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Getting traded. Yeah. We talked about it. Juan Pablo Martin Riba, Jamie, un abrazo. We are going to be okay.
Thank you, Juan Pablo.
Sam G. Is it possible the head scratching from play calling from Kevin Patullo is due to him using AI to pick plays? Vinny, I'm going to let you weigh in on AI.
Listen, man, I read a report about AI and ChatGPT. They're going to start banning certain stuff and taking stuff off of there.
Well,
so hopefully they take, you know, if he is doing that, take that off, you know, because it's mess up the chemistry in our team.
I think I'd trust ChatGPT over Kevin Patullo at this point.
No, I won't go that far. Dinkelberg. All this talk about firing Patullo this season is showing me that the Hurts Sirianni offense seems broken. There were pass game issues last year too. And I think I would tell you that from their perspective, they're not turning the ball over and they're getting some explosive plays. That's all they care about.
And I will tell you, most of us only care about winning.
Yeah. Well, you can win pretty too.
Jordan Davis off of Jaelan Phillips post-game comments. Julia just cut this one. Was asked what the key was to batting down so many balls tonight. And he said being 6'6" helps. No lies spotted.
There you go.
I would imagine that does help.
Let's go to our Ace Hardware Home Services temperature check. Figure out what is heating up or cooling off with the Ace Hardware temperature check. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. And I mean, listen, it sounds like the temperature is rising on Kevin Patullo as far as the chat is concerned, but I think we can cool it down a little bit. 8-2. Another win. The Lions, the Packers, the Rams now. It's okay. Give them
Likely the one
just
seed.
bring the temperature down just a little bit.
Oosa.
I just think the chat missed me saying, say what? You know, we
haven't gotten any Saquon. I mean, we had one week.
Yeah, you know, already to where, you know, I might go get me a.
Can you do like
a 7-Eleven chain?
Can you do a Patullo?
Patullo, come on, man!
That might get a turnaround. You never know. All right. I mean, listen. Of course, it wasn't great on offense tonight. This was not the one that bothers me the most.
No, at all. Not at all. This was a defensive night. You know, let's celebrate that.
Yes.
Cheers to the Celsius and
it's not like this was, you know, you're trying to think of what is sustainable, right? Because there were some wins this year where it felt like lucky is not the right word because there's something to them knowing how to play these close games, but things that are not repeatable. And if you were going to argue that for this game, it would be the fourth down stops, you know, getting especially one within the 5-yard line. Maybe that's not the most repeatable thing, but this defense is that good. And against a very good offense, I don't think that there is anything fluky about this performance tonight.
Yeah, me either.
Especially when you pair it with how good Detroit's defense is. You know, like we're sitting here praising the Eagles defense for taking the Lions offense out of it. You know, if I'm doing a Detroit postgame show right now, you know, I'm like, all right, well, the defense, you know, kept that offense relatively in check and they did their job and the offense just couldn't get it done versus a very good Eagles defense. So it goes both ways.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for the Ace Hardware Home Services temperature check. Once again, go to www.acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Okay, we take our final commercial break now. On the other side, we will eventually be joined by our Eagles insider, EJ Smith, on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line. I'll tell you about the snap counts as well, coming up next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. First, though, I tell you about our friends at Elkins Chevrolet. We are not talking about, you know, an impersonal experience if you're looking for a car. That's not what they have at Elkins Chevrolet. Elkins Chevrolet is run by three brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh. These guys are in the store every day working to make sure they have a huge lineup of Chevys at the best price, providing honkin' good service. No fumbles, no drama, just real brothers running a local business and backing every Black Friday sales deal like it's the championship game. So if you're in the market for a new Chevy, make your next move to Elkins Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honkin' good service. Shop now at elkinschevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
It's that time of the year again. The lights are up, the holidays are here, and the gift list is longer than the backup on 76 after a Birds win. But don't sweat it. The ultimate holiday hero is here for you. Righteous Felon's whole shebang bundle. This thing is legendary. It's got one of every premium craft jerky and meat stick flavor Righteous Felon makes. The full lineup of misfits and flavor outlaws from OG Hickory to fiery habanero, all packed up in a custom Righteous Felon gift bag that's right there for you under the tree for that jerky lover in your life. It's awesome to break up the monotony of, you know, the regular old stocking stuffers. Stick a meat stick in there. You're not just gifting snacks, you're gifting entertainment. It's bold flavor meets cult classic storytelling, all natural, high protein, and proudly made right here in Westchester, PA. Make Righteous Felon a new holiday tradition. One bundle that checks off everything in your family. Co-workers, the friend who doesn't need anything, trust us, they all need an OG Hickory beef stick in their hands this holiday season. So skip the generic gifts and get one that will have people talking. Order your whole shebang bundle now at righteousfelon.com and use code PHLY20 for 20% off. Righteous Felon, high protein, all natural, all American, all flavor, no BS.
We are back. on the PHLY Eagles podcast after the Eagles' 16-9 win over the Detroit Lions. I've got your county counts here on the snap counts if you'd like to hear them.
Yeah, I'm interested at Jihad versus Nakobe.
Well, it's an interesting one. 59 total defensive snaps for the Eagles. All of them played by Zack Baun, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and Andrew Makuba. 57 from Adoree Jackson. We saw 2 snaps of dime tonight with Michael Carter on the field. You have 53 snaps from Jalen Carter, 53 of 59. The guy continues to play an insane amount of snaps.
Wow.
45 for Jaelan Phillips. 40 for Nakobe Dean.
Wow.
Contrasted with 20 for Jihad Campbell.
And Jihad kind of got, I don't want to say exposed, but that one big 3rd and 10 pickup.
Yeah, that was tough.
He couldn't shed the block. He was the primary.
That was tough.
So
he read it and then just he couldn't stop Jimmy Gibbs from making an explosive play there. 37 snaps for Moro Ojimo, 36 for Jalyx Hunt, 29 for Jordan Davis, 22 for Nolan Smith, 8 for Brandon Graham, 6 for Byron Young. There you go.
29 for Jordan Davis, and he has 3 batted balls.
I was just about to say that. And he impacted. He took advantage of his opportunity.
Yes.
So did BG.
Those are good 8 snaps. Yeah,
those are good. Yeah.
You think Jordan Davis is here next year?
Jordan Davis, he's on the 5th-year option. He's definitely here.
Oh, I thought this was okay. Yeah. Right.
It's you pick it up for the
27.
Yes.
Yeah. He's going to be an interesting one.
The question is, do they eventually? Yeah, after that,
do they extend him?
Do they have to pick between him and Ojimo?
Yeah, because he's having his best year to date. A little bit of a lull there in the middle. Came out like an all-pro level for the first 4 or 5 games.
Yeah,
a little bit of a dip.
He was back to a high level tonight. The thing is that he is still not on the field on pass rush situations on 3rd down because Ojimo has been so good at that. But he is making an impact on playing 40% of the snaps.
Right.
Quickly on offense, 69 snaps, all of them for Mailata, Hurts, Dickerson, Tyler Steen, 67 for Devontae, 64 for A.J. Brown, 62 for Dallas Goedert, 60 for Fred Johnson, coming in for Lane Johnson, who played 13 snaps, 59 for Cam Jurgens, 55 for Saquon Barkley, 34 for Grant Calcaterra, 20 for Jahan Dotson. And shout out to Jahan Dotson for that one hit he took, the catch on 3rd down. Oh, that was probably Jalen's best throw of the night.
Brian Branch hurt himself.
Rolling to his right
too.
there. Yeah. And credit to Jahan for holding on to that ball. That was an impressive play.
Yeah, that was nice.
For a guy who just, barely gets targeted. 15 snaps for Kylan Granson, 13 for Lane, as we said, 10 for Toth, 8 for Bigsby, 7 for Will Shipley, 4 for Matt Pryor, 3 for Darius Cooper, and 1 each for Cameron Latu and Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean gets on the field on the kneel downs just in case.
Huh. Yeah.
I didn't know
He's way in the backfield in case there's a fumble. He's the guy who's got to tackle somebody.
I don't think I knew that. Didn't he hit a backflip before?
He might have.
Off of it?
Yeah. All right. Do we have our man? We do. All right. Let's fire up the Xfinity Mobile call-in line and head to the link to hear from our Eagles insider, Cozy EJ Smith.
EJ.
And it's a little cold out here. It's as my boy Cliff would say, it's a little brick out here right now. So I had to bring out the beanie.
That beanie is giving wet bandits.
Wet bandits. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that.
What?
Home Alone.
Oh, okay. I mean,
EJ.
Oh, EJ.
I mean, I've seen Home Alone, but
Christmas time.
What?
That was the name of their crew. They call us the Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits. All right, I'll watch Home Alone again.
It's
I'll
our
watch
calling card,
Brush
Marv.
All right, EJ. Do we have the notebook, Lindsay? All right, let's check it out.
I got my notebook.
There it is. There's EJ's notebook, and check out this sweet graphic. There it is. EJ's notebook.
Nice.
Oh, look at
All right.
this. Look at this. All right, break it down for us, EJ.
Let's do some quick fire things I learned in the locker room. First and foremost, and this is a PHLY exclusive, by the way, because I was the only one who picked up on this. Jalyx Hunt had on a pair of black Air Forces. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Black Forces trend, but basically if you're wearing black Air Forces, it kind of means that you don't give an F we'll say for the PG audience here. And Jalyx Hunt said that was intentional. He wore those sneakers because all week the Eagles defense talked about wanting to be the more physical team, imposing their will. And honestly, the defensive line did just that. So I thought it was very fitting that he was kind of prancing around the Eagles locker room in those sneakers after the game and kind of talking about him and Zack Baun talking about the fact that this is the energy that they want to have for the rest of the season. The next thing I have here is the J.J. Watt effect. Nick Sirianni compared Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter's swats at the line of scrimmage to his time coaching against J.J. Watt in the AFC South with the Colts, and kind of talked about how demoralizing it is for an offense when a defensive lineman is swatting the ball at the line of scrimmage like that. So, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter definitely had a huge impact in that area of the game. And then Nick Sirianni on the 4th down decision, he said that basically because they had gotten halfway to the line to gain on the 3rd down before, he felt like it was that kind of encouraged him or influenced the decision to go for it on that 4th and 1. It deepened the Eagles' territory. He kind of alluded to the fact, though, that like if he could do it again, he might not do it that way because, he kind of said that the result kind of colored how he looked at it. But then he also said, obviously, that he's got a lot of confidence in the offense to get it there. So, those are my 3 quick fires. I want to hear what you guys think about Jalyx Hunt's Black Air Forces. Bo, are you familiar with the Black Air Force energy?
I'm not, so I needed this lesson. I'm mostly blown away by how cool that graphic looked.
I mean, it was awesome. Shout out to Lindsay. 10 out of 10. I'm glad we got to.
Lindsay's giving a little tip of the cap. She knows she crushed that.
EJ, I'm very washed.
She cooked, as the kids would say.
I'm very washed. Can you explain the Black Air Force thing to me like I'm 5?
I mean, it really is kind of like if you're wearing a pair of Black Air Forces, like you might be a little. I mean, what I would say is like a little throwed. Yeah, a little throwed, and like you don't want to mess with somebody who's wearing Black Air Forces.
Oh, okay.
That means that they are always on that type of energy that, they don't have to get ready, they stay ready, I would say is the best way to describe the Black Air Forces.
Back in the day, we should say, time to lace up the boots.
So do you ever wear them, EJ?
A nice pair of boots. No, I'm not. I mean, what about me? Would you think I be wearing some Black Air Forces?
Well, I wasn't going to say it.
I'm not on that type of time. No, I am not a Black Air Forces type of guy. I'm a pushover millennial. We've talked about this before.
he's a white Air Force type of guy,
Yeah, no, I almost did buy a pair of white Air Forces recently.
Okay.
Yeah. Just trying to stay clean,
So my question is, was Jalyx Hunt impressed that you asked him that question?
I think he was excited to talk about it, because I do. I think that this was a statement performance for the Eagles defensive line. And I think that they came into this game wanting to make a statement. The Lions are obviously built as a physical team as well. Vic Fangio said earlier in the week that this is the Lions have the best offensive line in the NFL. So no, I think that there was a certain level of, I don't want to say taking it personal, but I think that the defensive line knew the stakes of this game, knew that they could make a statement about their physicality. And honestly, like that was my biggest takeaway watching this game is that the Eagles D-line really just controlled the game. They wrecked the game, whatever adjective, whatever verb you want to use there. I mean, they really did just take over this game and really affect the Lions in a way. Honestly, I mean, again, Vic said it was the best O-line in the league. So, I don't know if you could really have expected them to be so dominant.
Yeah, they look so different from having like kind of a feckless defensive line in terms of the pass rush for probably like that second quarter of the season. And now the entire structure of the defense is so different. They're better everywhere, but also everything works better together. I said it at the top. It is like for the second year in a row, they have come out of the bye week just being like, okay, we've got the best defense in football now.
So the thing that stands out to me is it's like kind of like Vic Fangio and Howie Roseman finding each other is like, the bane of the entire NFL. Because it's like the Eagles have 3 elite linebackers. They've got 3 linebackers that like Howie Roseman would have never dreamed of acquiring before Vic Fangio walks in the door. And then Vic, like Mr. like edge rusher agnostic, like, oh, I don't care if they get sacks. I just want them to affect the quarterback. For him to have like, a dominant defensive line, a defensive line that like in the biggest games at the highest stakes shows up and wrecks the game. It is a little bit like Vic's probably like, oh yeah, Howie, you have a point. You actually made a good point there about this defensive line being important. Yeah, it's like a match made in heaven, right?
Yeah, they're meeting each other in the middle. I like this theory.
Yeah. I mean, it's working. I mean, so my biggest takeaway from the game And AJ was asked this after the game, and he didn't really indulge it as much as you'd think, although he did shout out the defense a lot in his post-game comments. But I'm starting to wonder if AJ Brown's saying like the offense can't keep letting the defense band-aid over some of the issues on offense. Can the Eagles win this way? They just beat two of the top teams in the NFC playing this brand of football where the offense is not overly productive, but they can lean on their defense to keep them in games, and they can just be more physical. Nick said after the game that he feels like this Eagles team, like a lot of teams are waiting to lose a game, and the Eagles are like waiting to win a game. And I feel like there is some merit to like, this might be this year's version of this team, a defensive team and an offense that, yeah, it's got a lot of talent. It's got a lot, it's the most expensive offense in the NFL, but I don't know, in these high stakes games, I don't think it's a coincidence that the defense has been the one to set the table the last 2 weeks.
All right, let's get to some of the other notes that you have here, and let's talk about Nakobe, because he was so good in this game. It's crazy to me how good he's been since coming back from this injury. What was the reaction to the guys in the locker room to his performance?
Yeah, so I talked to Nakobe, and one of the things that stood out to me, what he said is that they almost take it personal how often the Lions went for it on fourth down. He said he knew that they were an aggressive team going in, but like for them to go for it 5 times, I think that they did take it personal. And I think that that's really speaks to like the level that he's playing at is obviously like remarkable. And he didn't really get too much into this, but I do wonder like if even he knew that he'd be able to get to this level so quickly after the injury. He talks about how long of a road back it was. But to me, it's like, it just really stands out like how much of a leader he is for the group, and how you just feel like his play has sort of unlocked this level. I know obviously the defensive line is playing unbelievable, and Jaelan Phillips' addition and BG's return are big parts of that. But I do also feel like Nakobe Dean being out there just like has an intangible effect on the rest of the guys out there. And I think you can see that. You hear guys talk about how much better they feel having Nakobe out there, because he really is like the heartbeat and the leader of the defense.
Uh-oh.
The lights just went out on me. Can you guys still see me?
Wow. Look at this guy. He is burning the midnight oil.
Man.
On the field.
Can you guys see me okay? Do you want me
in
to,
the
like,
dark.
go to,
Someone's going to call the
tunnel or
cops
something?
on you now. It looks like you
I
are
think they
breaking
have to
into
put
the
him back
place.
on.
Don't. If I was you, I would start walking. Don't get locked in there.
No, there's a bunch of staff here. I feel like the lights are going to come back on. We can walk if you want. We can walk.
Oh, no, this is great. I mean, I got no problem with this. This is fantastic. What did AJ say?
Oh, there you go.
I called it. I couldn't hear much of AJ, if I'm being honest. If you're not right there on AJ, it's hard to hear him. But I did hear him talk about still wanting the offense to perform better, but really kind of leaning into this, like, the defense won us this game, and you don't have to apologize for that. So that was the sentiment that I got from hearing him. I heard him talk about the one deep shot where I know his effort was being questioned. I just heard him talk about the fact that there was hand fighting down the field. Obviously he didn't say like, yeah, I was jogging or anything like that. So that was pretty much the extent of what I could hear from AJ. Again, he's a soft-spoken guy, so it's sometimes hard to hear from him if you're not right in the middle of his scrum.
What was your vantage point on just watching the offensive performance? What did you make of it?
I mean, honestly, to me, it seems like they're going back to square one in a way that's concerning. It doesn't feel like, I was bullish on this offense being the under center play action offense going into the bye week. And it feels like since they came out of the bye week, it's kind of just become more of this identity search where they don't really have that one thing that that they're going to be able to lean on. Saquon Barkley said after the game that there were some things that he was encouraged by in the run game where he feels like, they might be making progress, but really wouldn't get too much into. I followed up. I said, what are some of those things that you're alluding to? You wouldn't get too much into those. I don't really see this as like a run first, run heavy team, even though that probably would align with like the defense that they have, trying to just control games, especially in the second half. But to me, it's like, I don't really know where they go from here. I know you've been clamoring for a Devontae Smith centric offense, but I don't know. The passing game just seems like it really has gone back to square one. They tried to get AJ the ball. They tried to force feed it to him tonight. Didn't really work. Wasn't productive. I don't really know what it is that this team's going to be able to lean on offensively, which is crazy because they are so talented. You'd think that they'd have some levers to pull.
Vinny in the chat saying that when the lights went off, it was like it was a surprise wrestling entrance was about to happen.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, like have like BG show up.
You
right
turn
over my
around and
left
you get
shoulder or
stunned.
something.
Yeah.
Don't just want to hear that.
What did you talk to Adoree Jackson in the locker room, who had
I thought he played really well tonight.
yeah, he
too.
gave up the touchdown to Jameson Williams, but after that he was feisty, and I think probably goes hand in hand with the pass rush being as good as it was.
So that was one thing that he mentioned. That's a good observation by you, Bo. He talked about how impactful the pass rush is for him. Really, Vinny talked about it last week. Like, these guys, the defensive backs love pressure because of the fact that it kind of changes what their job is on a down and down out basis. But the thing about Adoree Jackson that really stands out, from talking to him all season, he has a very refreshing perspective on being in the NFL. Vic said earlier in the week that, to make it 9-10 years in the league, you have to be a survivor. And that is how he characterized Adoree Jackson. And when you talk to Adoree Jackson about that, like, it's just clear that, like, he really understands, like, he's got like a very deep understanding of like the essence of being a cornerback in the NFL, like not riding the emotional roller coaster. If you give up a big play, if you get benched, he clearly is a very competitive guy, but like has seemingly like harnessed that and he doesn't allow like the negative stuff, like, the catch he gave up to Jameson Williams. He doesn't really allow that to really affect who he is. So I give him credit because it has not been, a smooth ride for him. This season, even dating back to training camp, you think about when Vic said, it's time for Adoree to show us who he really is. Like, he's been challenged time and time again. He hasn't always, played up to the level that the Eagles have needed him to, but he was really important for them tonight, making some big, the really big PBU against Amon-Ra St. Brown. And just generally, it feels like he is starting to make progress. So I don't think it's ever going to be perfect with him, but honestly, like, as well as the Eagles defense is playing, especially with the line playing as well as it is, I do think that he's starting to settle in a little bit more, which is encouraging to see.
As the truth in the chat reminds us, C's get degrees.
Hell yeah.
I still have no issue with that statement. I mean, I wouldn't be standing here if C's didn't get degrees. Let's be honest.
EJ, what did you make of the decision to go for the 4th and 1 tush push from the 28-yard line with the game in the balances there?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks in a row now where Nick Sirianni's end of game 4th down decisions have almost cost the Eagles. I think that my biggest takeaway from it, and hearing him talk about like, I think the lights are going on me again here. I think we're good. All right.
Watch out behind you.
Hearing him talk about like, since we didn't get it, of course, now I wish that we punted there. I just think that like the problem is that he's not consistent. Like you hear guys talk about like you don't date the analytics, you marry the analytics. And the reason they talk about that is because like in order to get like the 65% chance of converting, you have to go through that. You have to make the sample size big enough to actually gain, the benefit of it to compensate for whatever the loss might be in the early going. So for me, I just think the fact that it is a little bit more tied up into like emotion and like his reading of the game scenario, it's a little concerning because I think that there have been some cases in the last couple of weeks, especially where it shows up and could cost the team. So, I mean, I was surprised they went for it. I understand the rationale, like you're halfway there, like you get half of it on 3rd down, you feel like you're playing for 4th and short. But again, like the way that the Eagles defense was playing, if you told me they punted there, I would have felt fine about the Lions not just waltzing down the field. To give them a short field and make it a 1-score game, I thought was the wrong decision. Honestly, it didn't sound like Nick Sirianni was like that convicted. Last week he was pretty convicted about his decision to go for it there and for the deep shot to AJ. This week he was a little bit more like, we're going to review this, and obviously I wish I had it back. So
now EJ, on the pregame show, you predicted astutely that this would be a low-scoring game that the Eagles would win. Do you want to flex about that?
See, this is my pushover millennial coming out. I don't want Fran to be, sub-tweeting or Xing or blue skying me like he was before the game. Fran was coming after me like crazy. All I'm doing is, you're the host, Bo. Honestly, you should probably take that personally.
Yeah, you're yes-anding. You did a good job.
Yeah, no, I think I did a good job. I mean, I have a good feel. My finger on the pulse of this team.
No,
and what's
I
gonna
did say
happen.
in my only prediction that I felt like this game was going to be the Eagles' defense all of a sudden is the best in the league again. But,
What do you mean your only prediction? I only had one prediction.
that's right.
Scrub the files.
All right. Any final thoughts, EJ, from the locker room? And let us know what you're going to be writing on allphly.com for the Diehards.
All right, Pete Davidson was down there in the bowels of Lincoln Financial
Good
Field.
friend of Dom's.
Yes. I think Miles Teller was also here tonight. I didn't see him as much as I saw Pete Davidson.
Pink
He
was in the
kind of,
stadium.
Okay, all right. I like a pink. That's fine.
I bet you do.
I'm not going there. I think that's pretty much all I have here. Let's see. Yeah, just a lot of the guys in the secondary talked about how important the defensive line was for them. Oh, you know what? I got one more for you. Tyler Steen, the false start. I asked Nick about that to see if he got an explanation from the officials. And Nick said that he feels like they didn't do a good enough job preparing Tyler Steen for that situation. Huh? Now, he basically was saying that he can't reach out and touch the guy if he's just in the neutral zone. He has to wait for the guy to, contact him. But the thing is, and this is a shout out to Jimmy Kempski because he told me this, that Tyler Steen explained this afterward. I didn't hear from Tyler, but Jimmy said that Tyler Steen said that the reason he was touching the guy is because that's where Tyler Steen would have put his hand if the guy's hand wasn't in the neutral zone. So to me, it doesn't seem like, I think maybe it was just Nick trying to take accountability, but honestly, no, I think he really was saying that it was a misunderstanding by Tyler Steen that the coaches need to better prepare him for. But I don't know, that just seemed like a weird one to me. I think that if you're Tyler Steen and you're saying that's where I need to put my hand and his hand is there, that doesn't really hold up for me.
That is Tyler Steen doing a heads up thing and the refs dropping the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand, you can't touch a guy. You can't just, reach out and touch him and, wave your hand in front of him. But if he's in the neutral zone, and your hand has to go there, I mean, what's to stop a player?
We didn't prepare Tyler well enough for the possibility that the refs are dumb.
Yeah, it's probably the correct read on it. But still.
So what are you going to be writing about?
I'm writing about the defense this week. I mean, maybe it's because I just spent all week writing about the offense, but I think that this was a statement performance from the Eagles defense, especially the defensive line. And it does just leave me wondering, can the Eagles, they've beaten so many of the top NFC teams in the last 2 weeks. They've held two of the NFC's best offenses to 16 points. So to me, it is becoming much more of a reality that maybe it's not a Band-Aid. Maybe it's, maybe it's miracle healing or something, that the defense is going to be that much stronger than the offense in these big games. And I don't know obviously you want the offense to play better, but I think they can win this way. I think that they've proven that the last 2 weeks.
Well, they are 8-2 atop the NFC. EJ Smith, thank you so much. We will talk to you on tomorrow's PHLY Eagles show at 2:00 and look forward to reading what you have on allphly.com.
All right, guys. Talk soon.
EJ.
Thanks, EJ. All right. Let's wrap this bad boy up. 16-9. The Eagles dominate on defense again. We're going to talk about the offense all week, I'm sure, and be all huffy and puffy. And then next Sunday, the defense is going to show up and beat some people up. Vinny, final thoughts.
I like the Black Air Force energy. Now, they got to keep it going.
Okay.
Got to keep it going.
All right.
Usually the Black Air Force energy goes with a little Pooh Shiesty mask. So we'll see if they invade Dallas like that.
They take it to the next level?
Yeah.
Okay. Defense travels. Jamie?
Yeah, this defense has a chance to be special. This has a chance to be a Super Bowl winning defense again. So we have plenty of time to worry about the offense, but I'm going to try to enjoy this young Eagles defense. Just went out there and shut down the top offense in the NFL. 31 points a game, and they kept them under 10 with ease.
It's great.
A lot to be excited about after this game.
Thank you to everybody for watching the show with us tonight. Very energetic chat. Good stuff from everybody tonight. The super chats, very generous. We appreciate that. Make sure that you're liking the video, subscribing, resubscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. And check out the PHLY store if you want to, give us a little extra support. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening. Thank you to Lindsay and Julia for making it happen behind the scenes. We will talk to you tomorrow on the PHLY Eagles show at 2 o'clock. The Eagles defense dominating the offense. We'll see. That's it. As always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.